I just watched President Traoré's speech. This man is so wise, it's not even funny, all right? Mr. President, you said that they want to control your resources and then your youth is forced to migrate over there to make a living. You are absolutely right. On top of it, what they do to those people that migrate here, it's shameful. They send ICE to detain them and to deport them. These days, they don't even send back to the original country, they send them to El Salvador. I am the prime example of how ruthless America has become. I married a US citizen 14 years ago, and they still detained me back in Hawaii, and they tried to deport me. Yeah, they treat like shit anybody who they think they're below them. I applaud you, Mr. President Traoré, for standing up to them.
This issue of Burkina Faso and Captain Ibrahim Traoré has suddenly become one of the biggest political issues in the world, trending regularly on social media. My own interview with our dear friend and guest Nico House on this very subject, literally on this exact subject, is one of our biggest, most viewed clips in all the history of the mother of all talk shows. It's in the millions. Millions of people have watched it.
Ibrahim Traoré, who everybody's talking about, Ibrahim Traoré is very much part 2 of Sankara, in my opinion. Because it's the whole premise of like, okay, we don't fucking need Europe's help. We don't need America's. We got it. We are resource rich. Fuck off. Because all of y'all's help comes with you exploiting us. All of the homeopathic, natural, spiritual healers and practitioners have come together and said, you're protected, Ibrahim. We got you covered. Why did that just give me goosebumps? May God bless this man.
Hello and what's up, my good and beautiful people. I hope you're doing good from wherever you're watching this video from, and allow me to welcome you to the channel once again. And if you're coming across Afright for the first time, welcome as well. This is a channel dedicated to Black excellence. Now, in this video, allow me to first appreciate and give my biggest shout out to my Black American brothers and sisters, or my African American brothers and sisters, because recently they have really shown us as a Black people who we really are supposed to be. See, the point is, a problem with us as Black people is we are always minoring on minor, small, petty, insignificant fights all the time. And you know where this stems from is because in us was perfectly sowed a seed of division from which our opponents always thrive in. And we're always fighting over very small, petty, useless things. And what we really don't notice is unconsciously, those small fights continue to, sometimes widen the gap instead of bridging the gap between different, sorts of Black people. But once again, my African American brothers, and this is not the first time, nor the second or third time, for the umpteenth time, they have shown us what really our unity really means. That when it comes to things that matter the most, then we can set aside all those differences and stick together. This all is concerning the issue of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president, our beloved Captain Ibrahim Traoré, president of Burkina Faso, the darling of Africa and the darling of all Black people. So, you know that the West, especially France and the United States of America, have been so much agitated by the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Captain IB. And they are doing all that they can to try and smear his name, which is usually the first tactic when they want to, do whatever they do to, the chosen few African leaders that, try to fight for the cause of black people, what we believe in as black people. But all black people in and outside of Africa have come out to clearly state that no, he is ours and we love what he is doing and we support what he is doing. This has also, boiled over to some white people because, when something is good, then any decent man or woman, for that matter, will always appreciate. So we have also had a few white people here and there who have also noted the good work of Captain IB and have come out to stand with us. Let's listen to this video or videos, and at the end of this, we might have something to learn, to talk about, or to share. So see you on the other side.
Hey, let's talk about Burkina Faso. Oh, Faso. Shut up. Burkina Faso is roughly the size of Colorado, a little bit bigger, okay? If you were looking at Africa, look, it's around here. I know it's inverted. Okay, if Africa looks like kind of a backwards P, it's in this part. So, she used to be called Upper Volta, colonial ass name, until the 80s, when a man named Thomas Sankara became the leader of the nation. He did things that, in my opinion, Ibrahim Traoré, who is now who everybody's talking about, Ibrahim Traoré is very much part 2 of Sankara, in my opinion. Because it's the whole premise of like, okay, we don't fucking need Europe's help. We don't need America's. We got it. We are resource rich. Fuck off. Because all of y'all's help comes with you exploiting us. So here are some things that Thomas Sankara, he was the leader from 1983 to 1987 until his assassination, which is why Traore, may God's protection be with you. Sankara, first things first, change the fucking name from Upper Volta. That means nothing to the people. Girl, that's not even their language. So he changed the name to Burkina Faso, which means the land of upright people. Love it. He was a feminist, okay? His security crew, whole bunch of baddies on motorcycles. He outlawed female circ, or FGM. He outlawed polygamy, and he outlawed forced marriage. One of his, in my opinion, greatest accomplishments was he had a huge vaccine program. The infant mortality rate was like 20%. It was very high. And it dropped 6% during his presidency because he had mass programs getting people and kids vaccinated for things like polio, measles, meningitis. Preventable shit, right? And guess what? It worked. So the infant mortality rate dropped a lot, 6% during his presidency. The country had been experiencing deforestation, so he planted 10 million trees. Yeah. He also established work programs to have over 20% of the nation's land irrigated. And he made it a thing that all of the government vehicles, at this point, they were Mercedes. He said, girl, nah, that's crazy. And he got them a whole bunch of damn hoopties. I don't know what actually kind of car, but he was like, why are we trying to flaunt all kind of wealth when our people, the people of this nation, need help? We're not going to live all lavish if they're living in squalor. No, we're going to rise up as a whole nation. Very good. He said, also, people in the government, y'all don't need no first class flight. Mama, right economy. Good shit. And what else? Oh, that the government officials are going to wear traditional garb of their country. Garments that are made with Burkinabe cotton and sewn together and crafted by craftsmen of their nation. Stop buying all this, you know, European fucking, no. Very good. So just did a lot of things that really helped the nation and created solidarity amongst the people. And also he didn't want any pictures of himself in any kind of public government office. He was like, no, there are a million me. There's a million Thomas Sankaras. And he said, they can kill revolutionaries, but they cannot kill ideas. Tremendous. Now, there is a young man in charge of Burkina Faso his name is Ibrahim Traoré. So Sankara was 1983 through 1987. Right now is a guy named Traoré. Perhaps you've been hearing about him. In regards to Ibrahim Traoré, mind your sources if you're gonna look stuff up, because the way they speak of him in his own nation and in his own continent at large, if you go to African news sources, very favorable. Western news sources are like, oh God, whoa, is this about to be a bad thing? Meanwhile, all the people of Africa are like, we love him. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow their lead, seeing as they're there, you know? Also, here's why the West is pissed. Because Traoré has paid off all of Burkina Faso's debt. The like international bank and all kind of funds globally have been like, hey, do you guys need a loan? Do you want anything? Do you need anything? Do you want a loan? And he's like, we're cool. Don't want your money. Because it's never just a handout, girl. They're never just like, here's some money because we're being nice. They want something in return. Duh. So paid off all their debt and was like, no thanks, we don't need your money. Haha. Saudi Arabia said, here's a bunch of money so that you can build 200 mosques. He said, no. If you give us that money, we're going to be building schools and hospitals. Not really sure if they're going to get that money or not. But, okay, Traoré. Very much continuing Sankara's, like, health programs. He's gotten a bunch of vehicles to go, like, mobile clinics. So that way, people that are in rural areas or in, like, I don't want to say like deserted areas, but like remote areas, hard to get to areas, don't worry, we'll come to you. They have like refrigerated trucks and everything so that they can keep the vaccines and continuing this, you know, medical push. Very good. He has built 2 tomato processing plants so that the country can be self-sustaining in terms of food. He has built the country's 2nd cotton processing plant. And, okay, mind you, again, the size of this country is a little bit bigger than the state of Colorado. Or, I don't know where you're from. A little bit bigger than New Zealand. Aotearoa. He procured and distributed 400 tractors, along with other things like motorcycles and other kind of like transport things. Because mind you, they're very much doing shit by hand and like beasts of burden, like, you know, cows and mules and stuff to help with agricultural work. So he got a fleet of tractors and they're all free to use to the farmers. And he's also been distributing high quality seeds and fertilizer in order to help agricultural production. He's also said that if a woman gives birth, that's free. She doesn't need to pay for her hospital stay. And here's how I know. Literally all the African leaders are like, strong work, Ibrahim. Very good. Except for fucking Ruto. Ruto, I made a fucking video about you last year. Your own people don't even like you. Why? You think I'm gonna listen to what you got to say about, I don't like him as a leader? Your own people don't fuck with you as a leader. Get out of office, girl. They're sick of you. Anyway, That's the tea. Burkina Faso. Oh my God, I almost forgot the most important part. So, all of the homeopathic, natural, spiritual healers and practitioners have come together and said, you're protected, Ibrahim. We got you covered. Why did that just give me goosebumps? Do you? May God bless this man.
And say that millions have watched what Nico House said and what I said about Captain Traoré. It's even worse than you said, Amy. He didn't just accuse Captain Ibrahim of stealing Burkina Faso's gold. He accused him of stealing Burkina Faso's gold to pay for his own protection. Well, I wonder why he would need protection. Well, one of the obvious reasons is that both France and the United States are quite clearly committed to killing him. What is it about Captain Traoré that they want to kill? Well, in addition to the great strides forward that you have adumbrated, this very week, the Burkina Faso government abolished all education fees. It is now free to go to nursery, primary, secondary, and university in Burkina Faso. What's not to love about that? Traoré has nationalized the building of the country's roads when he discovered that the private French companies that were hitherto building the roads were charging up to 100 times more for the building of those roads than the government of Burkina Faso itself can do. And so he's brought it in-house. There's now a public works department in Burkina Faso, in Ouagadougou, which will henceforth pave and lay roads across the whole country.
Okay, so if people that are not even black have come out to praise and sing, the name of Captain IB, there should be no way, no excusable way in which any of us as black people shall ever be used, against our own cause, against, one of us who is trying, to charter the way for us as black people. And thanks to this woke generation of African people and black people across the world who have observed historically that the enemy here is common. And while we're trying to always, fight over the minor things, the enemy is thriving on that division. And that if you were to observe in scenarios like, for example, African Americans and Africans have suffered slavery, while Africans have suffered colonialism. What you might really notice between the similarity between these two phenomenon in slavery and colonialism is that they're just two packages of the same product, and they come from the same man who really just packaged this product according to who this product it was going to be served. So for Africans, it was colonialism. And for African Americans, it was slavery. And while today, most of African Americans and other black people in America and in other parts like Europe, have to endure racism, people in Africa have to fight neocolonialism. So you see, it is always two parts of that very exact coin. Again, thanks to this woke generation of black people who have historically observed these happenings, observed the similarities and the differences in these scenarios. And now these events of the past are becoming factors that we use, as a cause of our unity. Because growing up, they did what they are trying to do on Captain Ibrahim Traoré, on other black leaders and other people across the world. If we were to look at leaders who came before Captain IB, we have Thomas Sankara, the same tactics when they wanted to eliminate him. We have Patrice Lumumba of the Congo. We have Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. We have Kwame Nkrumah. We have Dr. Martin Luther King, just to name a few. And what the enemy will always do when one of us is out there to challenge this narrative of oppression that they thrive in is, the first step is they begin to smear the name and tarnish their name. After which, they will come up with propaganda narratives and myths on how the said leader is taking advantage of his or her people. And then what follows next is when we have bought that propaganda narrative and we start having false perspectives on one of us, then it becomes easy. They become an easy target because they are exposed. Remember, when we stick together, when we fight for one another, we become a barrier and a defense mechanism for each and every one of us. That is why it is important that if any one of us is, if they touch any one of us in any corner of the world, then all of us must come out to speak, regardless of whether it is in America or in Africa or in Europe, in South America, or any part of the world. If they touch any black person, all black people must speak in one voice. This is why I feel like it's going to be our own responsibility as black people to not let down Captain Ibrahim Traoré, to not let him exposed to these forces of imperialism. And we will stick by him, we will sing his name, and we will always choose him until we, as black people, feel like we don't need him. But as long as at home he is celebrated, as long as people around to him celebrate him, they have no business trying to tell us how he's taking advantage of the gold in his country to the benefit of himself. How much more do they know than the people of Burkina Faso or the people of Africa or black people? They try to use, one of us to create and to forge that narrative, to sell that narrative, so we might probably get convinced. This is what I had for you in this video. Please go ahead and share what you think about this in the comments. Like and share this video as well. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to be part of this course. So until next time, I will be happy to see you in the next video. Peace out.